I propose a toast. I need a drink.
Howdy, folks. It's on Smite number 408, and I'm Brent Copeland.
I'm Ryan Curran.
I'm Bitburner.
And we got an extra special guest. You've seen him before on the show, long time ago. OctanePro, how you doing?
Doing good, man. Yeah, it's been quite a while. I think it was before you guys went on your hiatus and all. So
Yeah.
It was before I was on the show. I know that.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, whole new cast for you to meet and talk to, I think. So
But you're still sticking around, so that's good.
yeah, they can't get rid of me, apparently. So I guess the first thing is let folks know who are listening to the show, like who you are and how you're involved with Smite, what you do with Smite, and what you're up to.
Sure. So my name is OctanePro. I'm a community content creator and also streamer in the scene. And for some time, I was actually a podcaster as well in the Smite scene. I've been around since August of 2012, early on in the alpha. Started playing then, and I've been playing ever since. And not too far into actually when they went into open beta. I remember one of our first shows was when Smite went into open beta. I was doing a show called Smite Update with a unknown character named Drybear then. Is when we yeah, right?
Yeah.
Who's that?
I remember that.
And that was when he first came over to Smite and was just playing it and didn't even do Twitch. Like, he was all YouTube. YouTube was his bread and butter. But yeah, him and I kind of connected after I saw him, doing a few YouTube videos, and so I started podcasting very early on at Update Show, and did that for quite a long time with him, and then I did it with a gentleman named Risty UK, and then moved on to Fats and F. were my show host over that long period of time. And then that transpired into me, Smitten, and F. And we did that for a while. And then I also started a show with FG3000 called Smite Talk as well for podcasting. So a lot of people know me from podcasting, and then secondly from content creation and streaming Smite.
Awesome. So tons of shows. Like, you were in like about 40 different shows.
It was only two.
It seems like a
like,
lot more, though.
It's kind of like you can't become famous in the Smite community without doing a podcast with you first.
Apparently. Well, then, hey, you guys are set. Yeah, I mean, I started podcasting very early on with Smite particularly, but that wasn't my first podcast. I was involved in StarCraft 2 podcast and stuff like that back when StarCraft 2 was kind of doing very well at that point in time. So, but yeah, I love podcasting the scene. I was one of the first few podcasts doing the Smite update, and then on Smite was around then as well, not too long after. So yeah, podcasting's a big deal in the Smite scene.
Well, very cool. Well, we're super hyped to have you on tonight, and we'll be talking about Smite, of course, and a little bit about Paladins. It's
Cool.
Another high-res game coming out, and we got some info about that if you don't know. And apparently, OctanePro might have more information than we do. So sit back and stay tuned, and let's hit this button.
Hey guys, what's
Kraken!
So what's cracking? That's about what's going on this past week or so. Can you not hear the bumpers?
No, I could hear, no problem.
Oh, okay.
I saw a chat.
I'm just asking chat.
Oh,
okay.
okay. Doesn't trust me since last week.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw something in chat about my audio cutting out. I just want to make sure that you guys weren't hearing that as well.
It's cutting down a little bit. It's almost like it's auto-adjusting itself.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you adjust that within GoToMeeting then?
Possibly. I was trying to do it on my end. If you go to settings, there's like, kind of like Skype has under audio.
Yeah, it doesn't let me keep it up all the way, though, which is the odd thing.
Does it have the automatically
can-
adjust my system mixer settings? Maybe if that's unchecked.
Under the gear, all I have is computer audio, and it has my Yeti microphone, and then that's really it. That's all it shows there. It doesn't actually have that adjust feature. But what I can do is I'll just check Windows while we're at it real quick, just to make sure it's not doing anything. I don't usually use this computer for. Yeah, my levels are. I mean, shouldn't be cutting in and out. That's weird. I mean, I do see it going up and down, which is kind of the odd part within GoToMeeting.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why it seems like GoToMeeting would auto adjust or something, but
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see how it does.
Okay, sounds good.
So we'll let you go first then. What you been up to this week?
No problem. So for me, I've actually started getting back into Smite, and not only Smite, but just streaming in general. I kind of took a hiatus from streaming, content creation, podcasting, everything for the last several months, and just kind of needed a break from it all.
Yeah.
I've been doing podcasting since, for Smite every week. I was doing 6 hours of Smite update, or 3 hours for the Smite update, and then 3 hours for Smite talk almost, and it was just getting too much. Like 6 hours, which is too much for me, and on top of streaming every day for like 6 hours in the evening, and this was it wasn't my primary method of income or anything like that. I was just kind of doing it for fun. So after a few years, I needed a break. So I took a break from streaming, took a break from everything, but I was still playing video games, but I was playing everything I kind of wanted to. But with that in mind, I have been playing Smite. I actually been playing a lot of ranked Smite, which has been a blast, and is different because I never like to play ranked Smite. Like last time I was on this show, I was always just doing viewer games, kind of having fun doing my own thing. And since coming back, a lot of people, I put a poll up on Twitter regarding what people wanted to see me play and play with me, and everyone said Smite ranked, which was weird because like I'm not a high caliber, professional player in any way. But I started playing it. My first night I went 4-0. I had no toxicity or anything like that from the scene. It was actually fun, to be honest with you.
That's awesome. So maybe we'll see you at SWC then, right?
Yeah, I will be. I'll be at SWC. I'll be down there a week and a half early, working with the high-res production team. So I will be there.
Oh, cool. I'm in on a team. Like I figured you'd.
Oh no!
That'll be next year,
You're
right?
funny. You're funny. No, I don't got time for that. Come on now. I see these guys like practicing and playing Smite like 12 hours a day. Like if I get like 2 hours of Smite in a day, I'm lucky.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, go ahead, Rachel.
I was gonna say we'll draft you if they decide to do like a podcaster showcase match.
That's right.
We'll draft you for our team.
Sounds good. You guys will show me up though, so it's okay.
Right. Well, it's like you're saying you're doing like 6 hours and more a day. Like we do 1 hour a week on a show, and we had to take a break.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, it's a lot, so I completely understand where you guys are coming from.
So that's cool, and I guess my week's pretty short. I played quite a bit this week, but I'm down to 59 worshipers to get my 70 masteries, and 50 of those are with Sol alone, so I haven't touched her yet. So I figure I will finish up with Rama, and who's that other one? There's one other one that I hate playing, but I only have like 4 worshipers on them, and then it'll be just all magic fun for the last 50. So I hope to do that this weekend, though I will be watching a lot of the BlizzCon as well. I got that ticket, so I'll be, I don't play the game anymore, but my son does, and it'll be something fun we do together, and so that'll be cool. What about you, Ragin?
I got a lot of Smite in this week, actually. I did pretty good.
Is that different from any other week?
No, more. Depends on the week, and I got a lot more in this week than I do in some weeks. So I managed to play all 3 days of the Reaping event. I got my 3 wins each day, so I got the chest every day. 180 gems out of that. Saturday was hell. I ended up 1-7 at one point, and just had to take a break. I don't want to say the word rage quit, but I was a little bit frustrated, and it's just like, yeah, this isn't fun right now. I'm going to take a break for a few hours.
Rage and quit.
The game was really twitchy, I found. I don't know if it was lag or whatnot, but it just seemed like the precedence on crowd control was getting all messed up. And the example I'll give is there was an arena match where I was playing Ares, and twice on my screen I saw my ult pop, and then half a second later suddenly it reverted me to being in Anubis Wraps and dead. And Dakota saw me ult and catch somebody. They didn't beads, and yet I didn't pull them in when the ult went off. So things like that were just really, really frustrating me. But that was
I remember that match.
Were you in with us on that one?
Yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff going on in the one before that too.
Yeah, and it carried on through. We had assaults where it was doing it. I couldn't seem to get my mez with Kumbhakarna to stick on anyone, even when they weren't taking damage. So, yeah, it was. I don't know if it was just the servers overloaded. I don't know if it was my internet was crap. I have no idea, but it was a bit of a weird day. I've been playing a lot of Bacchus lately, and that stems from. I'll go into an arena match and I'll, okay, I feel like playing Ares. I'm trying to play more Ares to keep up with them. And I'll hover on them, and then the rest of the team picks the absolute stupidest combo of a team you can imagine. Like 3 assassins or something like that for arena. And I say, screw it, I'm not wasting my Ares on you idiots. And I switch to Bacchus. And then we end up kicking ass. So I don't know if it's just good luck or if I'm...
Bacchus is a
lot
great
better with
character.
Bacchus. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun with that. Let's see, what else have I got here? Had enough honor to get a couple shadow skins. I like those. Those are pretty nice. And just a totally random story. This came out of I was playing with Dakota and Okami last night, and we had a teammate who was playing with the Raw America skin. And I kind of made the offhand comment, I'd love for there to be like a Captain Canada skin, but what god would it be? Well, we figured it out, and it should be Guani Canuck. And it'll be a Guan Yu skin. He'll be in like a flannel shirt and a toque, have a big hockey stick.
That's
Yeah, his heel will be Canada's socialized medicine. Poof, there you go, he's healed. His dash and his Taolu assault, that'll be his hockey stick moves. Like he'll do a body check and then start stick handling with his stick. And the best part is when he ults, he rides in on a moose. So yeah, high res, get on it.
I thought it'd be like in a Mountie outfit and ride in on a.
Oh no, not a Mountie outfit. Mountie outfits are stupid. But,
hey, that's not Smite's fault.
No.
It's,
Anyway, that's enough of me for now.
How about you, Biddy?
I got my Galactic Invader skin for Alposh, so I'm happy. So I was like saving up for all my free gems. I was like, when I got a bunch of gems, I spin them all, yeah! And then like the next day, they're like, check out this new Alposh skin. I'm like, holy crap, I have no gems. And so I had to like wait 3 weeks. Or something. I had a little bit of gems left over, but I had to like wait 3 weeks to build up the free gems from logging in every day. So I finally got it, and I love it. So I'm like playing Alposh all the time. He's great character, especially like in Assault. If you get him in Assault, oh my God, you're just gonna lose against him because his things take up pretty much the whole lane. So
yeah, and he drops those bodies on you. Like they're hot and they hurt really bad, and I feel like you can't do anything. Like he just like, it's almost like Ares running at you. You're just like, okay, he's running at me. I got to go like get away from him because I know he's gonna shoot crap at me. But if you just like don't have that presence of mind at all that he's coming towards you, you're just like it's too late. Like,
yeah, I mean,
as soon as you hear the noise, you're like
55 units, I think, or whatever it is your range. 50 total. 55 or 60, I can't remember.
It's big.
Yeah, so he can shoot all the way out there, plus the circumference of that, if that makes sense. Like, so, let's say he puts out his number 1, which is, some of those dead bodies. So you put out the dead body out there. You went the length of your reach, but now you also have the circumference that it pushes further. Yeah, so that circle is actually, extends that even further, And then if you put more than one down and you separate them a little bit, that's and you pop that whole thing. If they're all touching each other, they will all pop. You can fill up the whole lane across, which is usually what I do in Assault, and just fill up the whole lane across. And as soon as anybody steps over it, just as long as they don't,
Yeah. Well, and we were talking about that in the game. It seems like they almost need a new mechanic to tell you when you're out of someone's ability circle, because it doesn't seem like it lines up. Like you'll be like, I'm so out of it, but I still get hit every time. And some of them have splash
talked about
damage.
this too.
Yeah.
I want to see a circle underneath of your character.
Yeah, that would
be
an
actual little border that says if this touches at all. Because I know the bad one for me are things like Ogni circles, both on the meteors and on the gas. As near as I can tell from looking at it, it looks to me like I'm outside of it, and yet when it pops, I take damage or I get stunned or whatever.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's a lot to do too with like the server lag and stuff like that, because you have to remember like your client versus their client versus the server and the delay. And so I completely understand that. Like even early on in Smite, it was the same way, where like you're like, I swear I was out of that. Like I swear I was like, and on your screen you might have been, but on his screen, which when he first popped that ability, you weren't. So I think that's how that interprets it. Like by the time it hits the server, then hits you, there's that little bit of fluctuation. I don't know how to correct that. Like how do you correct that? Because it comes down to server lag. I mean, I'd be most interested to see more on like a LAN setting like SWC, where like, and I don't remember seeing that last year at all, where like the same concept of what you're saying, like, oh, on his screen it looked like he was out, but on his screen he was in. I think that's what it comes down to. It's just a server delay, really.
Yeah, that's true. And then,
yeah, I mean, I've been standing outside of an ult circle, just outside of it, and it's gotten me. So yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I
so
feel like
I can see that too. Like if it's not exact.
Yep.
And I feel like I'm just a noob this week. Like I noticed so many things. Well, not so many things, but when was Zeus updated? Like I don't remember ever talking about that. And then all of a sudden, like maybe it's the first time I've played against a Zeus since whenever it happened. But like he throws a shield down and like it's spraying crap, and I'm like,
that? I was so excited about that.
We talked about it on show.
You can link to one. Nobody really knows this. Nobody really knows this when we play. Like I'll see people in Assault, and they're not doing this. You throw down your shield, and you can link your one off the shield like you can on Vulcan's turret. So I destroyed like a whole team, literally like right at the start, because they're all camping under the tree. I just throw my shield down there and just hit the one off it, and it links them all. And wait a minute for my shield to come up again. Throw it in there, and I'm pushing them back out of their tree, all the way to the back, and so we're gonna win. If I can keep them back behind the tree, even out of their whole tree, then we just push, and we wrecked them in 12 minutes. I think is what we did with that one.
Fun.
So it was pretty quick, but I mean, it's all about that linking off your one off that shield.
So when did that change happen? Was it like a long time ago? Are we talking?
It wasn't. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't super.
There's been a god update.
Ago. Yeah, I mean, there's been a few adjustments. I mean, Zeus is still, I know from like a more competitive perspective, in like ranked and even casual conquest, he's like banned first all the time. Now, he's just so good since then.
Yeah. Well, we got some, I guess, random news this week. They opened up the Worlds digital loot pack available. So if you can't attend Worlds, you can still buy it for 1,300 gems.
And those of us that are attending in person are stuck waiting.
I think they said something about trying to get that to people sooner. But
they're trying, but
I wonder if they'll be able to, though, because if you think of it this way, like you buy your ticket and you get your digital pack, then can you like refund your ticket and you still get the digital pack if they hand that stuff out?
Yeah, it could be absolutely possible, probably.
You know what I mean? Like
because it's just going to be a code. It's not going to be tied to like you're buying something, so that they probably won't have any way to tell afterwards. Mm-hmm. So good thinking, Patrick. Everybody go buy a ticket.
That's right. Get your code and return it, and hey, you're good to go. You don't have to pay for anything.
It's like keeping the tags on a dress when you go to a
That's right.
party.
I wonder if they're going to do a lot with
you keep your tags on your dresses there, Brandon?
Always.
Don't you? Come on now.
I mean, they usually
to see if I'm interested to see if Hi-Rez takes a note out of Valve's book, and also not only in Dota but also CS:GO, where they actually put the event built into the client. So like when you log into Counter-Strike over the last week, like the video client's right in front of you and it's playing already. So like when you get into Smite, there's a video screen into it and it's already playing the tournament right there for you. To kind of pull in that audience that isn't so, not everybody's in the competitive scene. But I mean, if you join in, I mean, I wasn't into CS:GO as much, and when I joined in, I was like, oh, what's this? I'll check it out. Well, Dota 2 does the same thing. I think League of Legends too. I wonder if we're going to see something like that from Hi-Rez in order to get more viewers, a little more viewership. Because the hard part is like you can't force your viewers in Smite right now to go watch your competitive games. But if you throw the game up in the client, then maybe everybody will see it. I'm not really sure.
Right.
Yeah, they do have that new little window that pops up now with all the little deals going on, which I like. I like that thing. I look at it for about 3 seconds and then I close it.
Well, and it does. I mean,
lets me know what's going on.
It's not intrusive, but the little up in the towards the top right, where you've got the Odyssey and then you've got the Season 2 Pro League. If there's live events going on, that will have it'll be highlighted in red, so you are alerted if there's something on, and you can use that to link. Which I like that approach, because the problem is some people who maybe have more limited internet options may not appreciate a high-def video firing up as soon as. I mean, that used to really irritate me about the Smite homepage used to do that, and at the time I was on.
Oh, that was so annoying.
Oh, the
and
audio
would
always be
internet.
on. Be like, at least turn the audio off.
Yeah.
Why am I hearing that person's voice? Where are they coming from? Oh
You're
wait,
streaming?
I left their website.
There's a tab. There's a tab.
Yeah, we
You're
did that
using
during the
cellular
show.
internet. Getting high-def video shoved down your throat gets expensive really fast. So
I want high
tastes
def
so
video
good.
shoved down my throat. That's awesome.
Yum 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 yum. Also, skin sale weekend. Is it the weekend? I thought there was one ending today. Is there a new one starting?
there probably is one, but the big one is on the weekend because they're doing it instead of a gem event. So no free gems this weekend. Sorry.
Boo.
But if you have been wanting the Ares Soldier of Fortune skin, which as an Ares player I hate.
Yeah, I saw that.
I have it, but I never use it. I hate it. Other than the 2015 championship skin, I don't like any of the premium skins for Ares, to be honest. But that is available for 600 gems, and it's one of those limited ones that only comes up once a year or so.
Go get it.
I have that.
If you want it,
I can't
now
remember.
you can get it.
I actually bought gems for. Well, I mean, I've bought gems before, but like Gabe's so nice about like throwing us gems, and like I haven't had to buy them in a long time. But there was something I wanted, and I wasn't about to ask Gabe for more gems after I'm just giving us like 10,000.
And after you completely
And you
squandered
wasted them
yours,
on avatars?
Yeah. Oh my God.
So now we all know that Gabe's your dealer, huh?
Yes.
You cannot take too much.
Yes.
You know,
Gabe
you
is
gotta have
everyone's
some-
dealer.
Gabe is the man, yes. And so I actually bought some gems to get some stuff, but because I was just too embarrassed to ask for more. But I'll
This
figure
is
that out in a
probably-
couple weeks.
I probably spent more money on this game than any other game I've ever bought.
Well, I mean,
And it's a
definitely.
free game, so
once you buy the God Pack, I mean, it's like you feel like you're getting so much worth it. It's like, oh man, I can't wait to.
Yeah, that God Pack is worth it. But
Yeah.
when we got, was it $20 or $35? I don't remember.
I think it was 30.
Feels like
What's
30.
that? What's that? The
For
God
me, it
pack?
was 40 because I'm Canadian.
Yeah, it's like $29.99 or something like that is what it was
when it
originally.
first came out. What is it now?
I think it's the same
Same.
thing. They haven't changed
Okay.
it. That was
Okay.
I remember that was a big question when Smite launched. I guess it was like March 2 years ago. It was like, oh, is the God Pack going to go up because they kept pushing it at like
Right.
$80 value or something like that. And then I remember it was always questionable. Like, are they going to raise it? Are they going to raise it? And then they finally announced that like, hey, we're going to keep it the same. So, which was really cool. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, for me, I played Smite for a week and then bought the God Pack. It was like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like, hey, spend $29 on a free game, and now I get all the gods moving forward. You know, why not? I mean, I was in your boat. Like, I spent a fortune on this on Smite early on. a ridiculous amount. Don't tell my wife, you know. But and that was after like even after a year of playing, I was still doing it, and then I found my dealer, just like Brent, you know, and I won't say who, but every once in a while I just do a little fill up of the tank, you know, like when the Odyssey comes out, it's like, hey, knock, 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 you know.
Yeah.
So yep, I understand.
Yeah, it's time.
Well, I remember back at when they were doing when they were launching, there was even questions if the God Pack was even going to be available, or if they were going to switch to the League of Legends model after that. I was actually tempted to buy a couple spares, you know, to just in case I ever needed them. But I'm glad I didn't.
Also, I don't know if we want to talk about the Polygon article. If that sounds like a Agni's hot topic, if we're gonna like get into that. It's been around everywhere. I guess we can highlight it, but there was an article from Polygon that was I guess about I didn't read the article yet. I'll be honest with you. I haven't had a chance to. So I'll let you
It was
talk,
basically an interview with Lydia, and it was just talking basically about the online hostility and toxicity. And apparently Polygon spun it a little bit to make it really focused on sexism. Lydia came out on Twitter almost immediately and said that it was meant to be more as a general toxicity comment. And I mean, we talk about this on the show all the time. Don't be an ass online.
And then Dean Brandon came out. I did see his video.
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to watch that yet.
Oh, he was heated. He was heated.
Yep.
I think he had some good points, but saying that there isn't racism or sexism out there, I think you can't really say that.
Yeah.
But some of what he said was good. So go watch the video if you're interested in that. But honestly, it comes down to, I think, what Rachel said. Don't be a dick to other people and just have fun playing the game. Like,
I do think one valid point that came out of the discussion, though, and the first one I saw to really pounce on this and eloquate it well was Frost, was that you do have to keep in mind that, you know, if you're a woman playing Smite and you're getting sexist things thrown at you, or if you're black and you're getting racist things thrown at you, a lot of the time that's not necessarily directed hate at you being a gender or a race or whatever. It's just people are dicks, and they're going to say whatever is going to push your buttons.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
I get old or fat immediately, right? When they see me in a video. It's just an easy target. It's what people are going to be dicks, and they're going to pick those whatever they can latch on to. And
that in no way makes it any better, but it does, as someone who's having this directed at you, I don't know if that would make you feel better or not. I do know for me that, yeah, when someone makes a comment about my weight, okay, fine, you're just poking at what you think is the button you can poke at.
I thought you were going to say being Canadian.
Oh, no, everybody loves Canadians. Don't ever harass me.
Oh, right. Yeah. No. Everybody loves
I love how they asked your, what is he, a prime minister? I don't know. But they asked him why he wanted like an equal amount of women and men in his cabinet or whatever, and he said because it's 2015.
Yep. No, we just had a change of government. To put it into American perspective, we just switched from being Republican to being Democrat. So, yeah, we've been conservative for 10 years, something like that. So things are getting flipped around.
So good. That means we'll probably get your health care. Like y'all will just go ahead and give it to all Americans as well.
Yeah.
I keep telling you guys, our health care is not as good as Michael Moore would have you believe.
Okay. So enough politics and all that stuff.
I know, right? That's for the next show. That's for the next show.
Yeah, just quit being a dick. How about that? Latest Know Your Enemy is out, featuring Amuzin Cobb. Anybody watch it? Enjoy it?
I have not.
I did not have time yet, unfortunately. It's a long one, though.
Is the Know Your Enemy, is that the series by Trendkill?
Yes.
Ah, yeah, I remember when you started those up. They are
so good.
Great. Yes, I agree completely.
Yeah.
I learned so much stuff from those videos.
Do what, huh? That's a lot of talking for nothing.
From this video.
Okay, so also, you can now earn fantasy points on MLG Pro Gaming on the Xbox. So go earn it, and yeah, do that. Esports Avant-Garde, first team to lock in an SC spot by winning the Oceania League. Latin American team will be decided this weekend. Super Regionals, which I'm glad you put this in here. Gabe really wanted us to mention that. November 17th through the 22nd. 12 teams, 6 North American, 6 European. Fights for 5 SWC spots, and I believe OctanePro is on one of those teams. So good luck to y'all.
Of course, right here.
It just, the sucky thing about being on the west end of the continent is all these matches are like while I'm stuck at work.
Oh yeah. Well, we might as well have another. That's why you have another monitor. And you just throw it up on. Come on now. Come on now.
Yeah, I'll just bring the whole company internet stream down by live streaming. High def. No one will notice. It'll be fine.
I mean, if that's the case, then they don't really need their internets, right?
Yeah, that's right. Throw it up on your phone. Connect to their Wi-Fi and then throw it up on the phone.
I think that's faster than their internets.
Yeah, right.
They got Canadian internets. It's just how it. See, don't do that, people. That's being a dick. So, anyway.
It's all the poutine. The poutine gets piled up on the internet lines. It slows everything down.
It's all the gravy. Odyssey Week 6, the Kepri Anuki announcer pack, 2 for completion.
That's my next purchase.
Man,
yeah,
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Like I got it. That's actually I think what I bought gems to get.
Okay.
And they're good, but there's only so much I can handle of like Kepri's voice, and when he's the announcer for the whole match, after a while I was just like, no, I'm done with you.
I love that. I
won't use Kepri.
I will. That's why I would
really
buy
good,
it.
but it's just it's almost too
opposite.
much. I like the random one when I could random and all suddenly it would be like, Bart in my ear, and then 2 seconds later it would be Dry Bear, and then the regular guy. Like that was kind of interesting to me. That sort of thing. Felt like they were talking about my game. That's what they need to figure out is how to auto cast Smite games. So when you're playing, they're casting your game.
Oh, there you go.
Talking
right?
about the things you're doing.
Yeah, don't they do that like on football games and stuff? Like EA Sports games. They have announcers that are like, "Oh, and he blocked a shot," and
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of what disappointed me with the Anuki pack, because the Anuki announcer pack is really good, but of course I'm used to the Anuki that's doing the play-by-play on the top 5 plays of the week, where he's right there watching. He's coming up with all these great, colorful descriptions of what's going on. So the announcer pack's good. I'm in no way trying to say it's not worth the gems, but my expectations were way too high on it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and it's not many gems. It's like 200 gems, right? 200.
Yeah.
And you get 2 packs. Gems. It's worth it for that. And it's
a good price.
They're very good. But you may want to switch in and out every few games. Just warning you.
Do they have? Can you add it to a randomize so that it plays any of the ones that you have randomly?
I think so. They have it on awards.
That would be kind of cool.
I know you can randomize who it is. So I would just. They have that technology. Now whether it's there or not, we'll have to look.
They have the technology.
It's called coding.
$6 million.
They can pretty much do anything, right? So what's this? Completion item Dragon Knight Ao Kwong.
Yeah.
Is that for so everybody got that
6
for
items.
buying the 6 items.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. He's up there on the dragon flying around.
Yeah, it's a good
Now,
skin.
Wasn't that released early though? Like did I understand that something was released or leaked early, or what happened with that?
I forget exactly what happened, but they did mess something up and they released the voice packs early. And then they just kind of said on Twitter, "Oops, we'll just leave them on," kind of a thing. And so, you could actually. It was supposed to be released on Tuesday, but you could actually get it. I think it was right after the show last week. Actually, it was
because we didn't talk about it because we didn't know, but it happened right then. I think I logged in that night or something, and it was like, "Oh, what's going on?" The dragon was there, like his picture.
Yeah, they messed something up, and they just said, "We'll just leave it in. It's fine."
Yeah. Bastet cosplay kit was added to the Smite website, so if you need to do your Bastet cosplay, it's there.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like a breakdown.
I'm totally doing that. I'm showing up to Worlds in that.
Next Thursday, let's have a competition to see who can dress up like
That's
Bastet
terrifying.
the best.
That's terrifying.
I already have the fur.
Yeah, right.
I think that'd be great.
It's kind of cool though that they're providing cosplayers with resources to build correct cosplay costumes. So that's pretty cool.
It's a great idea.
Well, they have
I mean,
that.
that's extra work. I mean, and they actually did that. I can see them doing more and more of them too. That'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah, I think
It just means more
they'll end
people
up hitting all
cosplaying
of
at the finals and stuff.
Also, Smite hit 200 million games played, which
That is
remember,
awesome.
pretty much all those have 10 people in it, so that's a lot of games. 2,000 million.
Yeah, and I'm about
2
2,500 of those by now, I think.
Wow, look at you.
So
Games,
got-
not wins.
I have like
Yeah.
20 of them.
Have you guys ever gone back and look at like your stats page and stuff like that for Smite?
All the time.
Do you really? Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I still completely forget about it in game because like starting out with Smite, you had to go to the Smite stats website, which was on Hi-Res's website. It was never in game, so I always forget that's in there to actually see like when I actually started. Like, let's see here. I was just thinking about it. Let's see. Player created 8/14/2012. Like that's the type of stuff. I'm like, oh, like Brent, when was yours? Because you started playing early on.
I don't know. Like where are you going to get this data?
It was
It's
around
on
March.
Account.highrisk
March of 2013.
Yeah.
We've all been. Brent and I have been playing because I joined.
About the
I
same
started
time.
up when Brent and Eric and Wes started up,
Okay.
and that was back in March of 2013. Naja was the new god at the
Okay.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what I was just looking there to see. I just posted it there to see. I posted the link there in the chat
there
if
you
you
go.
wanted to see that. Yeah, just it gives you some info. I feel like in game gives you more now. Like this used to
Yeah.
be like the source, but now
I-
like looking at it, I'm like, oh, like no, not as much. Like I think there's more now in game.
The one I really like is Smite Guru.
Oh yeah.
Smite Guru has really great stats for you, including an estimated elo. So
Oh, that's
I
nice.
like that. I always like to go, especially if I get curb stomped. Then I go and I look at the Smite Guru score of my teammates and the other team, and usually feel a little bit better about it because it's people 200 or 300 points ahead of me, or we were all randoms and they were a 5-person party, that sort of thing. So
Man,
I like it more for the match stats, but it does have good personal stats too.
I must have played a crap ton of Loki when I first started playing because it's
Yep.
still on one of my most played gods, and I can't remember the last time I played Loki. But
yeah, that was like me too. Like Odin was my #1 god played when I first started playing Smite. Actually, earlier on it was Ymir, and before that it was Ra. And when I go back on there too, like it's like most played god. I'm like, wow, like I must have only played that god every day for like a year.
yeah.
Yep,
Well,
that's what I was
so-
with Juan at first.
Yeah, I was 8/28, 2012 was when I started.
Mine's 4/27/2013. That's the day before my birthday.
That
Wow.
far back? You must have been playing earlier than
Yeah, Brent was
I
playing.
started streaming it.
Did you
Oh,
say
yeah,
2012, Brent?
Yeah, 2012.
Oh yeah, so you started like just like 14 days after me or something like that. Wow. Okay.
Now, I was watching it and kind of following it before I ever started playing because I was a Tribes player, still am. And so there was always updates and like videos and things happening and the streaming and stuff. So I was really curious about it.
I remember I got it early, but when I first started playing it, my graphics settings were all messed
Can
up,
you close my door, please? Thank you.
and I thought it was like the crappiest looking game
Thank you, baby.
ever, and so I didn't play. Like I stopped playing, and then I was talking to Chip, who's a good friend of mine, and he was like, "No, something's wrong." So I went in and adjusted my settings, and I was like, "Oh, well, this looks a lot better," and then started playing more. So yeah, early on I didn't play as much, but Smite. Let's see what else we got here. Stu announced via Twitter that Paladins closed beta will be kicking off on November 17th.
Yay.
So everybody sign
Can't
up.
wait.
That's at paladins.com.
Woo!
Same day as the Super Regional starts. Seems like a little bit odd timing to me, but
Maybe they can do a lot of cross promotion or something, pushing people.
That's
to
probably a good
Paladins.
opportunity to cross promote it then.
I guess.
Because
Yeah.
it'll be going.
Yeah, the game's a good game, I guess you could say. Is now the time you want me to talk a little bit about it, Brent?
Yeah,
Certainly.
this is as good a time as any. I want to hear about some Paladins.
Yeah, so yeah, the closed beta starts on the 17th. So if you got a closed beta code and activated on their site, then on the 17th you're supposed to be getting in, is my understanding. Now, if you didn't get a closed beta code, my understanding is that like you could sign up for the beta, but you kind of don't know when you're going to go in. It's just saying, hey, I want to get in the beta. Is it closed? Is it open? Now, that's my understanding, and someone from Hi-Rez can verify that. Yeah, the game's awesome. I've had the opportunity to play test it for quite a few weeks now. Hi-Rez has slowly expanded outside of, they've gotten like Hi-Rez employees, competitive Smite players, and then community members into, certain community members and very few into like a play test. And it's like, it's been like every Sunday at like 9 o'clock, and all of us jump on like a Discord server, and it's just kind of like, okay, everybody go ahead and queue to this, play, everyone, okay, play, now queue again, and they've come a long way. Like, when I first started, like, you couldn't get more than 2 minutes into the game before it crashed.
Right.
And now it's like amazing. Like, now you can log in anytime, and so I like to log in and just do like the co-op mode, which you could do with someone else, or you just play the computers and play. And I will tell you, this game, if you remember, Brent, when Smite first started out, it was very bright and very colorful, and then over time, Smite kind of got this like gloomy, dark look to it. It's when they redid the UI for the first time and put a lot of gray into the UI. Well, imagine Smite, you know, Paladin's very similar to Smite then. Like, very bright, very colorful. The world atmosphere looks amazing. The characters look really good. The best part about it, too, is they kind of took that approach that, like, Heroes of the Storm took and that Overwatch is taking, where it's all team-based. So, like, it doesn't focus on your score when you hit the tab key to see your score. It's based off of, like, your team score. So everything's team-based. Whereas you guys know, playing Smite, everything's very, as much as they say it, well, exactly. As much as everyone says Smite is very like, oh, it's team friendly. Let's be honest, it's not. Like, it's very much about like how many kills you got. You know, I'm not, granted, there is some team coordination there, and I understand that, but at the end of the day, everyone's looking out for number one.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about with Paladins, though, with Paladins, it's a blast. Like, the entire time you're coordinating with your team. Okay, like, there's a capture point over here. Okay, everyone transfer over to there. Oh, there's a siege cannon coming the other way. Okay, great. Everyone focus on that. Like, they have the VGS system in there, which is really nice. But, and word on the street is like there will be like an in-game voice system. I don't know if they do like a curse type of deal again, or if they have their own. But either way, like, it's very fast-paced, very quick, and it's interesting because the game can be like 15 minutes or it could be a half hour. It all really depends on like how your team works and stuff like that. And it's crazy because like my first few games, I was just running all over the place, like I don't know where to go. But then as you after like a few games, you're like, oh, we need to go to the capture point. Okay, let's go this way. Oh, it's going to be over this side. So the game's a blast. The UI looks amazing. It's very bright, very clean. It's easy to pick up and play. Like, anybody can pick up and play it. It's not difficult. The card system was the only thing that threw me off, and that probably throws you guys off a little bit too. Like, you have a first-person shooter style game, kind of, but with cards in it.
So is it like talent tree, kind of? You're building.
No. The way it works is like you first go ahead and pick things like your character, and it's kind of cool because on the one side you can see how many of that character are queued in your same queue. So, like, if there's, for example, my favorite character is Casey. She's the archerer with, like, the cool tech type of bow. You could see that, oh, there's, like, 100 other Caseys queuing right now. They try to, like, balance things out based on your characters and what characters you pick. So, like, you're not going to get 5 Caseys on a team. It's going to divide them up, you know, as you kind of spread it out there. So with that in mind, you know, you select your character first. Then you select your mount, which is kind of cool, kind of like World of Warcraft type of feel, where like, oh, you can get mounts and stuff like that. You know, so you get to pick your mount, and then after you pick your mount, you have to pick your deck. And your deck, you can just pick the basic deck, or you can build a deck based off your play style. And it's not necessarily a talent tree. I think it's like 13 to 15 slots you have, and you just go through and look at your deck and go, okay, what do I want? And some of the deck cards are like. Additional knockup off of your auto attacks, or slows your enemies when hit, type of stuff. So like for me, when I play Casey, I love getting several cards that are in knock up and several cards that are in slow. So, and you can actually hit somebody playing Casey, knock them up, and continue auto attacking. They'll never hit the ground because they just keep getting knocked up. It's awesome. It's so much fun. And so there's a lot of really cool stuff like that. And then you go ahead and queue. So and the way it works in game is all the cards are passive. So you're not worrying about like, oh, when do I play this card or when do I play that card? So what happens is like every time you level, you get to pick from 3 cards. Like it pulls 3 of your cards out and goes, which 3 do you want? So depending on where you are at in that game, you might differ depending on what card you pick. So then you pick that card, it goes in the bottom right-hand corner, and it kind of has a system to show when it's back up on cooldown, and then it just automatically uses itself type of deal. So it's really cool. It's really a neat system. It's different with the whole card mechanic because, like, to me, it kind of like threw me off a little bit. Right. But I think you guys will love the game. Like when closed beta comes out, hit me up because I love the game. Okay. Like to me, I play it and I'm like, wow, like I don't know if I'm going to continue playing Smite as much with this.
That's what I'm worried about. Like I definitely plan on doing a podcast. We may get the Control Point series. We used to do Team Fortress 2, and it feels similar to that.
Yes.
So I think it would be a good fit for that show.
Yeah.
So think about bringing that back.
Yeah, the world environments too. Like, trust me, you'll get into it, and then you'll just want to look around. Like, wow, this is so cool. Like the one is like a forest, and the trees are gigantic, and you feel really small. And so you're just like looking up into the sky, and like these trees are massive. So the world around you is very cool. The art style is completely different than Smite, and part of me is like, did they bring a new artist? Did they change direction? But like, either way, it's a phenomenal game. Even in beta, you guys are going to have a blast with it.
And for anyone who didn't get a beta key here on their page, they've got the Founders Pack, and it's cheaper than Smite. It's only $20. It's $19.99. And with that, you'll get immediate beta access on November 17th. So
wow, very cool.
Have they put that on sale yet, though?
No, no.
Yeah, it's still in that coming soon.
Right, but it's got to, open up within 12 days. You'd think if one of the perks is starts on November 17th. But I mean, if you think you're going to be interested in this game, buy it. I mean, there's no sense not to. The amount of joy Smite has brought for $30 is amazing.
Right?
So
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see it's very much going to be microtransaction based off of like skins for, I think they're calling them champions, skins for the champions, and then like the skins for the mounts. I assume you'll have different mounts is the way it'll work. Like there's 2 mounts. I only have access to the one right now, which is just like a horse for like a steed. But the other ones, there was like another one listed. I don't even remember the name of it, to be honest with you. But like that would be super cool to be able to get these things that make you stand out above everyone else, which will be really nice because you're on your mount a lot. Like you queue in, you're popping your mount, and you're riding your mount out to battle, and you're in battle, you're fighting, and you want to get away, hit your mount, and you scoot out type of deal. So like you can use your mount any time. Like you can jump on that mount. Now, granted, like it takes a second to summon it, a few seconds to summon, and you can get hit during that time, and it interrupts it and stuff like that. But like that is like the mount is like your 4th ability. Like there's 3 abilities and then a mount, and that's kind of how it works.
They've got if you want to see more about it, you can go to paladins.com, and they've got a really small write-ups about each characters. Is that how many characters they have in the game right now? It looks like 7.
Yeah, those are the characters right now. I think there's. Let me see real quick. I just want to see what other characters they had on.
I see the one that should be the tank already. That's all I care. That's all I care about.
Yeah, there's a few. It's just so like intro. I'm on that page now. Where do I go here? Champions. There we go. I wanted to see like who they had listed here. Oh, right there. There's one character listed that's not on there.
That
I guess I will say.
I can't wait for them to get more soon into the game.
Yeah, I think that's the more soon champion. I haven't played that more soon champion yet, but he's very cool. But yeah, I mean, all the characters, it's kind of cool. Like they built these characters based off of like different players' play style in a variety of different games. So like you have your tanks and stuff like that, but then you also have like your harassers and like the lightning orc guy, Garak, whatever. Like he's really cool. Like has like a healing totem and stuff like that. So like it kind of plays like everyone's type of play style in these types of environments.
And then you can, like you
Awesome.
said, with the cards, you can gear it just a little bit more towards your play style. So
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the really cool thing is like you kind of can make your character different than everyone else's based off of the cards that you want to play, which works out really, really well. So that's kind of what I'm finding.
And it seems like it's going to be a lot of humor in the game too. So looking forward to that. Like the self-appointed knight. That's one of the classes, and it says it takes a special kind of man to appoint his own knighthood.
Yeah, like there's a lot of like the characters will say things on their own like during the fights and stuff like that, which is really cool, a lot of fun.
Like auto taunts.
Yeah, you kind of have that type of stuff. Yeah, like auto taunts or remarks and stuff like that. So it's fun. It makes it a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, as I said, it's very easy to pick up. The art looks great. It's very cool. So I'm looking forward to it hitting beta and being able to play all the time and play with a lot more people.
Sweet. Well, we'll get a clan or group or whatever they call it in that game going and beat on some folks in a nice way. Also, Smite World, 610 tickets left.
Yeah, because they just released a whole bunch more, but they're saying that is it.
Oh, that is it? Okay.
That is it.
So if you can't get one of the 610, you can buy one of the employee tickets. They're only $999,000. They do have a $30,000 fee that goes along with that, but if you're paying that much, I don't think you're that worried. Only 200 of those left, so get them while you can. And actually, I guess we're gonna skip the patch. I don't think we had anything to talk about in the patch. So
We talked about the patch that came out on Tuesday. We talked about last week, and there was no new patch notes this week. So there really is nothing to talk about on patch other
let's
than what we
move
already talked
on
about.
to this. I think I hear someone flying in.
I have a message for you. Gotta go fast. Close. Yeah. We got mail. Let's take a look at Mercury's message. Let's go.
Smell my finger.
No thanks.
Is it just me? Like he always does that ability, like, and it just looks like he goes, "Smell my finger." I don't know. The next time you play him, just say it. You'll never get it out of your
awesome. That's awesome.
It'll never top when Geb first came out and when they showed him in the launch screen, kind of forming, and it just looked like he was given a double bird as he came up.
head. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did they change that? Because
I think
it
so.
still looked like it. Okay. Anyway, we got a call in. Who wants to guess who called in?
JBJ Blaze.
There you go. You get nothing. Here it goes.
Well, hello there, on Smitesters. This is JBJ Blaze!
And Mr. OctanePro, what be in your pockets? And maybe everybody else's too, just for the fun of it. Thanks for the great show, and bye-bye!
I gotta ride the mixer when he's talking, but good.
Right. The wallet.
Good question. So what's in your
Wallet.
pockets?
Cell phone. That's about it.
Some clear eyes
Oh, there you go.
and heartburn pills.
Man,
If you're over 30,
you're just a
you
walking
don't have-
pharmacy.
He is.
I have nothing, not a damn thing in my pockets.
Well,
Because Canada took it all.
Oh,
What
I have
else you got in there?
You know what? I'll show this.
cheese.
Oh, nice. I'm surprised you're not one of those guys that's like, oh, I got a Swiss Army knife in there. You know, like, I'm surprised you don't have that too.
And here's my beer.
I don't have anything in my pockets. I'll show this. I'm really, really proud I got yesterday. This is the super freaky, weird Japanese movie from the 70s, and I'm super hyped. So watch it. So it's sitting right beside my computer. We'll go with that.
And all I got are keys. Though I do love this keys. It's a key that's hooked to a carabiner, like the actual
Nice.
key.
It's a Kia beaner.
A key or beaner. Yeah. So yeah, that was.
I just realized that my microphone was set to the wrong microphone, so when I tried to mute before, it wasn't muting. So if I was yelling,
we heard it. That's good.
That was supposed to be muted.
I heard that too. I was just like, oh, it happens, you know. Like my wife can walk out any moment, you know, whatever.
We're
My
bros.
family got home and they're like being really loud right outside my door, so I was telling them.
They know
I
you-
usually just trim. I have a little bow here. I've been doing that. I've been turning it down and coughing and stuff. So
Yeah.
bad.
No, we saw you like do this. It's like, dude, we can still hear you.
Yeah, right.
Oh, sorry. I
No,
fixed
that's good.
it. So
You weren't
now
too
I
much of an asshole to your kids and your wife, so that's good.
can...
Like that's what you were worried about, is being, oh
They
man, they
always
just saw
think
me
I'm
be a
being one,
jackass.
though.
Oh, okay.
Be quiet. Close my door.
That's funny.
Well, that's pretty much. We don't really have time for a hot topic tonight. It's kind of a normal thing with the show.
Our hot topic was Paladins.
Yeah, Paladins.
Nice.
Which, thank you so much for more information, and of course, being on the show. It's good just to see what you're up to, and I'm glad you're getting back into the streaming. So we'll definitely check out your stream too, and everybody else. If you haven't heard Patrick in a while, go over to his stream and sign up so that you'll know when he streams next. And is that still OctanePro?
It's OctanePro SCII.
It's like your
OctanePro
Twitter?
was taken. So, yeah, it's just everything's OctanePro SCII, which is for StarCraft 2 back in the day. So, yeah. So, OctanePro SCII is like YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And I've been having a lot of... I used to do a lot of like YouTube, like just kind of like gameplay. Like, here's me playing this game. But now what I've been doing more with YouTube is, you know, after a night of streaming, I'll go through and just cut up like a 1-minute snippet of like fun things, like
cool.
things that are going on, which is a lot of fun. I've been doing that more recently. Like I did that with Smite the other day. Somehow, like I'm like you guys, just regular Joe. Somehow in Smite, I came up on a Gold Fury getting taken as Poseidon, did Whirlpool and a Kraken, and got a quadra kill with a Gold Fury steal. Like, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen to us guys. Like, that doesn't happen to us guys. So, like, the video is, like, me, like, doing it and then being, like, laughing, and then, like, that will never happen again type of situation. And then another video I threw up was, like, I had a Giannis bug where I was flipping up to the top of my screen looking like Dracula running around. So I was at the top of my screen, so that was like a little bug, and then I played a whole bunch of... Yeah, you saw that, and then I played a whole bunch of H1Z1, and so, like, you know, H1Z1 with a bunch of friends can be a lot of fun and goofy, so I'm doing, like, little 1-minute snippets. Like, the other day, I pulled out, like, Fast and Furious quote, me and another car were lined up, and I'm like, we live a quarter mile at a time. You know, we just kind of race. So having fun with, like, the game, and so that's what I'm doing more and more. It's just, like, 1-minute little snippets of just, like, fun stuff that happens when I play games. So make sure you guys check that out if you're interested.
So OctanePro Ski.
Yep, unfortunately, but yep.
SCII. Go check him out and follow and give him some love because he deserves it. Really good man. Yes.
Sorry, one thing I want to interject that OctanePro reminded me of. They put on Twitter, they were leaking something about the video they're going to do for Paladins, and the thing I picked up on is they say right on the picture, they are maintaining their streamer and YouTuber friendly attitude. They understand the concept of free advertising. So I'm going to be streaming Paladins when I try it out. So you shouldn't, even if you don't have the beta code, you are not going to be having a hard time finding ways to learn more about the game, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be streaming and a lot of YouTube videos are going to pop up. Pay attention to that, and it's I'm looking forward to that. I think that's one of the smartest things Hi-Rez has done is their extremely friendly streamer mentality, because they get so much free advertising out of it.
Yeah, I mean it's a testament to the company and how good like Gabe and other people really work with everybody, because I mean there's 2 huge games coming out, Overwatch and Paladins. I mean Overwatch I believe is out in beta now, and people are getting in slowly. So you kind of have a choice right now to make, because they're going to be similar enough, I think, that it's and you don't have time to really play both, right? So you got to kind of pick, I think, in the end. Which and hands down, I was like, I'm going with Paladins. Like I don't think I'm even going to crack open Overwatch at this point, even though I was excited before I heard about Paladins, like before Paladins the information was released, and a lot of it has to do with how awesome they are as a company. And Blizzard's awesome too, but they're just not. the same on that level.
Well, the big
Yeah.
thing is in that regard, like ever since like I got involved with High Res, they have a huge level of transparency that most don't, and that not only comes with the things they release and the information, but it's also their employees aren't untouchable. Whereas you kind of
Right.
feel that way with Blizzard, and your impact and what type of impact you can make. I mean, if the Smite community doesn't like something, they post it on Reddit, enough people post, and High Res changes it. Good luck with Blizzard. Good luck with Blizzard in that retrospect. So I think a lot of that has to do with like the direction they're going with Paladins, and I'm really happy with that. I mean, plus High Res learned a lot going through Smite and the different phases of Smite and where we got today. So with everything they know now and applying that to Smite, I think it's a big deal. And I'm really looking forward. So I think you have some really good points, like where that goes and the feedback that you get regarding that. So it's a good point.
Very cool. Well, that's going to do it for another episode. That was 408. Go back and listen to the rest. Big thank you to OctanePro, of course. And
Yeah, man, thanks.
you can see the other guys, Raging Cajun, which it's spelled odd. So go just look on screen and you can see how it's spelled, and go check him out, as well as Bitburner. We'll have to let Bitburner talk about his music some night after he makes a bumper for the intro.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do that, actually.
That's this little carrot on the stick I'm pointing out there. But anyway, thank y'all so very much for showing up another week, and we will see y'all next time. So, Smite on. Hey, we haven't said that in forever, right?
Smite on! Smite on! Should I have been muted there?